yeah. Okay, so my Premier League predictions. It'll be interesting. There's definitely going to be a few shockers. So I'm going to do the Premier League predictions, and then after that I'm going to go on about who will win trophies in the season, like Champions League. Oh fucking hell. Yeah, Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference League, FA Cup, Super Cup, Community Shield and Carabao Cup. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to go from bottom to top, and from then yeah, I'm going to go bottom to top, and then I'm going to talk about it and why I think they'll be there. What is Arsenal doing here then? No, we don't want Arsenal. So there's going to be some bold predictions, and we're going to start it off with a bold prediction, because in 20th place, oh, this is a big one. This, I'm putting Southampton in 20th place. Right, it's bold already, but I feel like for the past few seasons they've been lacking in the quality, and I think this season they're going to go a step too far. They only need one bad season and they could easily go down. I think they are Championship quality. I think they're just lacking a bit of Premier League quality, like the loss of Danny Ings, now Ryan Forster, or Ryan Forster, whatever his name is. Yeah, you get it. 19th, very easy. Fulham, very yo-yo team. What more can I say? Don't think that they're going to have enough quality to stay up. They've got Mitrovic, but they need to defend goals as well as score. Although if they sign Bernd Leno, that might be a different situation. But it's the whole point of predictions before the season. And in 18th, I've gone with Leeds. So I've went with Leeds because I feel like they were lucky last season, but I feel like they're Lee Marsh. I don't really think he's gonna do it in the Premier League. The signings that they've made so far ain't been like world class or class. They got Marco Rocca from Bayern Munich, which is decent, I guess, but can he do it in the Premier League? So yeah, my three to go down is Southampton, Fulham and Leeds. 17th, 16th and 15th. So in 17th I've got Bournemouth. I think they'll just be able to do it with the quality that they have. I've always looked at Bournemouth as a Premier League team, and I think they're going to have the quality to stay up with Solanke, Billing, and I think they're going to do it for Brooks as well, you know, who has cancer. Well, he's cancer free now, which is great news to hear, but I don't know if he'll be playing. So yeah, 16th I've went with Nottingham Forest. I think for a big team like them it's going to be good to get back in the Premier League. I also think that their manager is a great manager, and I feel like they've got the players there that they can easily stay up, like Brentford did last season. speaking of Brentford, I've put them in 15th. I feel like they might lack a bit, but I feel like they will be able to do it again. I look at Brentford now as a Premier League side. I think they've done it really well last season for their first season. I think they can keep that going in the second season. I feel like Ivan Toney's going to have a beast season. And Mbeumo, he was class last season. So, yeah. 14th, Crystal Palace. They always end up in mid-table, so it's not really a surprise. Although if they get some class signings, I think they could go higher, maybe push for Europe, but 13th, I've went with Newcastle. Now, this is already a bit of a, ooh, this could go either way. I feel like they're going to end up mid-table simply because of the teams that are above them. Like, they can go and have a good fight against the top 6 and the big 6, which is good. We want teams like that in the Premier League. However, I don't think they're going to get into the top 4 or the top 7. So I don't think they'll get Europe, but they might miss out. Well, that was an interesting goal. 12th, I've went with Brighton. I feel like they're going to keep it going. Graham Potter, class manager, unless he goes and manages England, which then, yeah, it looks as if they're going to lose Mark Cucurella going to Man City, which if they do, it's a pretty big loss for them. But I think one thing for their success is the fullbacks with Tariq Lamptey and Cucurella. Feel like Roberto Sanchez, whatever his name is, it's Sanchez, that's all I know. Think he's a good goalkeeper, and I also think that yeah, maybe if Maupai, or Maupai, whatever his name is, if he scored some more goals, then I feel like they could have a little push for Europe. Yeah, that's a foul. 11th, I went with Everton. Now this is an interesting one. I've went with Everton because, in my opinion, I feel like they are going to be able to build upon last season. You know, crap was shit, but they've got Anthony Gordon now. Yeah, I think he's going to have a breakthrough season again. And I also just think that they've got better quality now that Calvert-Lewin should be back. Demarai Gray, he was alright last season. 10th, Wolves. Now, they could easily get into 7th. But again, it's about the same as Newcastle, really. It's about who's above them in the table, because they could bottle some silly games that they can easily win. Yep. 9th, I've got Leicester. I think they're going to go for a push for European place again, like they did last season after a tough start. Feel like they've got the quality to do it, but I feel like, again, it's a bit like Wolves and Newcastle. They can bottle easy games that they win, that they should be winning, and that's where their points drop a bit. Eighth, I have went with West Ham. I've went with 8th because I feel like they're going to focus more on the Europa Conference League, because they've done that with the Europa League last season. I'm pretty sure when they were going to play Seville, Lyon and Frankfurt, I think just pretty pretty sure they just thought, do you know what, forget the league, we're going for the Europa League. And in the end it got them 7th, but it didn't get them to win the Europa League, and they're now in the Conference League. 7th place, which is Conference League. This is going to be an interesting one. I've went with Aston Villa. Now I've went with Aston Villa because I feel like they are going to rebuild under Gerrard. I feel the new defensive partnership with Callum Chambers and Diego Carlos is going to work very well. With Martinez in between the sticks, he can definitely sort that defence out. Matty Cash can do it, Luca Digne can do it as well. Maybe getting a striker, like they've been linked with Luis Suarez. I wouldn't see that happening, but if it did, it would be wicked for them. Coutinho, midfield. Kamara as well. So they've brought in some big signings, but it's the strike that lets them down a bit. That's why I could see them going higher, but at the same time they need to score the goals. 6th, I've went with Arsenal. It's just Arsenal things, isn't it? For me, Arsenal ain't got the attack that the rest of the teams above them will do. For me, relying on Nketiah for a whole season isn't going to work, whereas teams above them have like world-class strikers now. I feel like for them, Nketiah is very inexperienced and might lack goals, so they need to get a good striker who can score goals. Someone like a I don't know, like an Isaac from Sociedad, that could work out for him, I guess, like they've been linked to. 5th place is a bit of a shocker because I've went with Manchester United in 5th place. Right, this is an interesting one. I've went with Manchester United in 5th place because at the moment, while I'm doing this, they ain't made a signing yet, which, if they're going to keep the same squad as they did last season, they're going to be in the same predicament. It's going to be struggling to get top 4. Yeah. I also think Ten Hag, he's going to come and he's going to rebuild, but he's going to do it slowly. And I feel like the likes of Rashford are going to shine again. The likes of Sancho are going to shine. Ronaldo's going to have a season to remember. And Varane could have a good season. Yeah. De Gea, who saved them a lot last season, might do it again. Probably would. Yeah. So, yeah. 4th place. This is the top 4 now. 4th place is going to be a bit of a shocker. Chelsea. Now this is a bit controversial, because for me, Chelsea, they've got Lukaku, but I don't really think he wants to be there. He wants to be at Inter Milan. Timo Werner is better on the wings. I think it's shown that last season, because he was class against the likes of Real Madrid. He had a good season, a good game, and he's better on the wings. Yeah, I feel like the defence is going to be hurt a bit now that they've lost Christensen and Rudiger. That's 2 big losses for them. 2 really big losses. So yeah, I don't really think that they're gonna get third. I think they'll get fourth, just with the challenge from Manchester United. So I think it'll be tight between them two, but I think that Chelsea will come out on top. Third place, I've went with Tottenham. I've went with Tottenham for this because I feel like they are going to do well under Antonio Conte. They've got the signing of Ryan Forster, as we said earlier, who's left Southampton now, which spoke about earlier. They've signed Bissouma and Perisic. That is some good depth there, and I think that will help them get third. They could even win against Liverpool, and when they go to the Etihad they always win anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, second. Now this one is controversial. This isn't because I'm a Manchester City fan, by the way, but I've went with Liverpool. The loss of Sadio Mane, that's gonna hurt them very much. For me, their new front three, Diaz, Nunes and Salah, I don't think that's going to have enough experience as what Mane, Firmino and Salah did. Their defence is good. I think Konate is going to break through into the first team again. I feel like Trent's going to work on his defensive abilities after that Real Madrid game, because he didn't pick up Vinicius Jr. and that cost them the Champions League. But I also just think if they got an injury in the front three, that they've not really got any depth in the front three. Because let's say Darwin Núñez got injured, who are they putting at striker? Well, I mean, they could put Bobby Firmino, but he lacks that now, I think. My opinion, he lacks it. Let's say the likes of Salah got injured. The quality out that front three is very weakened, and it would probably be Minamino playing. And I really don't think they're gonna they'll compete with the title winners who I'll talk about in a minute. Well, you know who they are. But I also just think that they pushed us last season, that they'll do it again. But this is what I'm going to lead on to now. First place, I've went with Manchester City again. Now, I've went with Manchester City because the signing of Haaland is going to help them now really good. Last season we had no striker and we won the Premier League just about. With us now having a striker, I feel like we can definitely now push, and we can definitely win the Premier League. And I hope Haaland, he's a world-class striker already. Why does it do that? I don't know. Anyway, as I'm saying, I also feel like Manchester City, if they sign Cucurella, they're going to have the depth. But I also just feel that with De Bruyne and Haaland linking up, Haaland will have a field day. With the likes of Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Foden, Sterling, all these playmakers, and Grealish as well. A lot of defences are going to struggle against Manchester City next season. Because Haaland's a beast. He's only, what, 21? So, yes. I think they're going to win it, and I think they're going to win it comfortably as well. Right. Now, we're going to go on to who I think's going to win trophies. The Community Shield winner. It's going to be tight between Manchester City and Liverpool, but I'm going with Manchester City. Simply because of the attack. It might take a little bit of time, but I feel like we'll get it done. It doesn't really mean anything as a trophy. It's more like a friendly. So, yeah. Super Cup winner, easy, Real Madrid. I think Vinicius Jr. is going to improve from last season. Rodrigo. I feel like Rodrigo will improve. Benzema, I don't know how he can improve because he's already world class. Best player in the world at the moment. Has to win the Ballon d'Or. And if he don't, well, it's rigged. The likes of Rudiger coming in and Tchouaméni, that's going to improve their squad massively. I hope Tchouaméni's going to be like Camavinga, who can break into the team and turn around the games like Camavinga did in the Champions League against Paris, Chelsea and Manchester City. I think Frankfurt will put up a good game though, and it could go to penalties. If they did, Real Madrid would win it on penalties. So, yeah. FA Cup winner is going to be a bit interesting. But, this is one of them ones that's a bold prediction to make. I've went with Tottenham Hotspur. I've went with Tottenham to win the FA Cup. I feel like Antonio Conte's going to want to win a cup with Tottenham. And I feel like the team that Tottenham are building and what Conte's building with Tottenham, they'll be able to do it. With the likes of Perisic, with the likes of Son and Kane, the likes of now, like they're going to get Spence. Yeah. The likes of Bissouma as well. I think it's going to work out for Tottenham, and I think they're going to win a trophy. Carabao Cup, I've went with Manchester City. We just seem to love that cup. We bottled it last season, but I think we'll go back and we can win it again. Right, now we're going to go on to the European competitions. Europa Conference League winner, Villarreal. Pretty simple. Champions League semi-finalists. They definitely put up a game against Liverpool in the second leg when they went 2-0 up. But yeah, they've got a world-class manager. If they get a bit more character in that team, I think they could put up a real threat in La Liga and then Champions League if they get back in it soon. I want to see Villarreal back in the Champions League. Europa League, I've went with Manchester United. I feel like for me Ten Hag's going to win the Europa League with them. I feel like they're going to be a different team with Ten Hag. They're going to focus on the Europa League. They're going to win that, and that's how they're going to get into the Champions League. So they got close 2 seasons ago after losing on penalties to Villarreal, which it was tight, but David De Gea slipped up with his penalty. But I feel like they're going to win it again with the likes of Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford, Varane, De Gea. They should be winning that competition. Right, the Champions League. This one's going to be controversial as well. I was a bit in between with this one, but I've went and said I was thinking Liverpool could have a shot, but I feel like the inexperience of their team, not going to happen. Well, their front three, they've got an experienced team, but the front three's pretty, it lacks the quality that they used to have, that ruthlessness. I thought Real Madrid could go and do it again, but then I thought maybe not. Chelsea could have a run, but I thought no, I don't think they will. And then I thought, well, here's who I've picked. I've picked Manchester City, not because I support them, sort of is, but it's because I look at their team. I look at the team now and I'm like, all we needed is a striker against Real Madrid and we could have easily won. If we just put away them 2 chances we had right at the end, and even in the first leg we could have won 7-8-0. But we didn't put our chances away. But I feel like now with the Haaland we'll be able to have that ruthlessness against these world-class teams. And that's what's going to take us to the Champions League. So, yeah. The World Cup will happen in between that as well, but that's going to be a different prediction video coming close to the time. So, yeah. That's it from me. That's been my Premier League predictions and my season predictions. We'll come back to this after. And say for now.